Hey, scribers, Dylan Chalk here. Want to go over commercial template stuff. We will, this is going to go over the CCPIA version 5. So it took me a lot of versions to try to get this worked out. So I'd like to give you kind of an overview of how this template works. There's some pretty unique workflows that are unique to Scribeware. So we're going to go over things like tables. We're going to go over buttons. We're going to go over gunny sacks. And it's interesting. Scribeware has a lot of features, and on their own, they're pretty cool. But when you start layering them, you start getting kind of unique workflows that can really save you a lot of time and I think create really good reports. So let's go over the CCPIA 5.0 version. Who knows? There could be other versions in the future, but this will probably I'll remake the video if it's drastically different. But this is our commercial template that we have. So I kind of broke the template structure down into four main areas. So there's the master report, and that's where you would do, like, if you did a walkthrough ahead of time, if you wanted to put supporting documents, PDFs, rental histories. It's also where all the tables could go if you want to put the tables in there for cost to cure, system inventory, all that kind of stuff. Then we've got the common systems. So, these are like not inside of a unit, everything outside of the unit. So we've got grounds, envelope, roofing, garage and loading docks, decks and stairs, crawl space, basements and structure, attics, common electrical, common HVAC, common water heaters, common plumbing, common laundry, fuel storage, and common restrooms. So again, these are going to be all your sort of common areas of the building. If you were in a unit, my expectation is that electric panels, water heaters, heating equipment, all that you're going to do in each unit. But if you go to the basement or you're up on the roof and there's 10 heat pumps, you go under common HVAC. And this is one of the first features. Well, we're going to unpack a bunch of features here. So add HVAC. So let's say I'm up on the roof, and I've got some pictures here of some bunch of heat pumps up on the roof. So I can click on this, and it looks like I had a video, and that this is unit number 5, right? So we could go grab these pictures and put them in. And so this is actually like a photo bucket. So when you're on site, if I hit add HVAC again, now I've got another unit. We could scroll down, and now we could put unit 5 on there. Looks like that's a different one. So now we've got some other units, or the next unit, and so we could keep going. And so you can see how quickly on site, if nothing else, your photos get super organized. So it looks like this was 2016, and it's 5 tons. So we could fill this out. This was a train, and it's a heat pump, and maintenance is needed, and it was up on the roof. It's electric. It's 5 tons. It was from, God, brain, was it 2019? 16. We'll go back in there. 2016. One of the first AI things we want to do is, so it's kind of middle-aged, is have AI read the data plates for us, which could speed things up even more. Put the data tag in and have it kind of fill that out would be sweet. So what I just filled in is a table, and it's sort of like styles and materials. This table could be now populating a common table of all the equipment. So we could go down to this unit, and this one looks like it might be an American Standard. It's a heat pump. Maintenance is needed. It's up on the roof. It's electric. It's 5 tons. And let's say this one's from 2007, and it's old, and there were no recent records found. So again, all this will be, and you can customize these if you want to change fields. You could add the size of the disconnect and all kinds of different things if you want to. So we got a couple heat pumps here. So notice how the modifier here, this is another Scribeware thing. We support unlimited modifiers. So right now it's information only. But let's say we want to recommend a servicing on this. We could move this to a recommended maintenance item. And then we've got a gunny sack. So we got observations and recommendations. Currently, nothing will print there because they're in text replacement. They're yellow. But if we click on them, we can open them up and say, there were no service records noted. There was damaged refrigerant lines, and there was corrosion present, and a dirty condenser coils. So then we could just hit close. We actually could have hit next, and then the system requires servicing. So pretty slick, right? I didn't have to write any comments. Like all of our greatest hits are kind of just sitting there. If you wanted to, you could add a period, and the period gives you a place to freehand stuff. So you could just type in, that there's some weird thing that you didn't have in your list. So now you're done. I mean, you've got all your pictures there, you've got your styles and materials, and you've moved that comment. So that's kind of these buttons are cool because again, you could go up on a roof and just go click, 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 and you've added 6 or 8, units, and you can quickly organize all your pictures so they're all in one place, and then you just go through and fill this stuff out. So that's how the buttons work, the gunny sacks work, the tables work. When you go to an interior unit, this is really cool, but I like to think I have everything you would need for the interior of a unit all in one place. And you can just choose what you need. If there's no deck, you just ignore it. If there's no fireplace, you ignore it. If there's laundry, you can enter one. Same deal, information only. And then there's a little gunny sack. I do have some more traditional ways of doing things where you could say that it was drywall and drop ceilings, and that those repairs are needed to the drop ceilings. And you could click on this, say there's cracked tile, loose tile, and stained tiles, and then drop your pictures in. There's probably somewhere in this whole group of photos, I probably have some pictures. This report was pretty organized till I pulled it all apart to. But here you could, yeah, I could put some pictures in, some cracked tiles or whatever. So yeah, you get the point of kind of how all of that works. So there is also, these are not built out all the way, but I also have some addendums of commercial kitchens. I'd really like to do an accessibility report, environmental life safety. I really haven't built these out. If you're interested in building those out with us, let me know, because I just don't do that stuff. So my knowledge base ends and I need to do some more research. But this whole beginning of the report should be pretty darn flexible for almost any job you need. So the idea is with this unit, if you're doing a 10-plex, I would come up to this chapter, right? And I would hit copy chapter. And so this could be up here, could be unit 10 or 100, right? And then this next unit could be, we'll go down to this. Oops, that was probably unit 100. And then this would be like unit 101. And then you could, whoops. And then you could hit copy chapter. Now you got another one. This could be unit 102. And you get the whole gist of it, right? Why I was doing that. Cool. So that's the idea, is you can kind of just basically map out your interior, and you've got all your common systems on the exterior. So, I mean, you could probably do like 50 units like this. There would be a certain point where I might break it up into different reports. Just your mobile apps might slow down. We had someone the other day that had like 700 or 800 pictures in a job, and it wasn't slowing down too much. So we've been working on that, trying to make it where it's somewhat unlimited, but it's hard. We don't build the devices, and at a certain point, they just hit memory limits with all the photos. But anyway, this kind of shows you the workflow for this. Let me show you a finished report. Hang on just a sec. Okay, I'm back. We're looking at a finished commercial report, and obviously got all the buttons and stuff. Summary items I should explain. I started doing this with my commercial, where I created these overview places where you can just do voice to text and like give these overviews of everything, and then drop a couple pictures in. I designed the summary to have pictures of my overview statements, but not of all the defects. The idea is the defects, you could click on it and go straight into the comment and kind of see what's going on. But if we dissect this report, what we're trying to do, the idea was that the client has a quick look summary where they can see, summary items of all the main systems, and then read like, okay, how many major concerns, repairs, maintenance items, that kind of thing. If they click in the full report, they could start looking in each unit and be like, okay, what's going on in unit 200? And they can like get a sense of repairs that are needed in there. We've also used contractor tags here. So every electrical comment, if we go back into the back end and we go to like electrical, for example, let's go look at, oh yeah, we've got general contractor, and then there's HVAC. So these tags are making lists for contractors so that, and you'll see that in the finished report here. Let me close this. And yeah, we've got electrical, plumbing, HVAC, general contractor, and roofing. And you could keep building out more of these if you want to be more specific and have more of them. But what these are, which is really cool, is the client can click on electrical items, and now they've got a unique URL that is just for the electrician. So you can be like, hey, Sparky, copy and paste. Here's a list for you. Give me a bid. So that's where that stuff is. The tables, sorry about that. Back up. I clicked on the wrong thing. The tables will present, you can actually control where you want to put them. I put them right after the project, or in this sort of project overview and background area. And so we've got a capital reserve study that I've done. I've got the list of all the heat pumps in the unit and the building. There's only one water heater there. I've got the electrical equipment in there, and then cost to cure, and we even have an inflation factor of 3%. So we'll be making some videos on the tables and how you can build out some of this more sophisticated stuff. But this is kind of what the tables are looking like in the finished report. There's even some different ways to display this, or you can have it not display in the comments if you don't want. But uh, cool. Let's see, what else did I want to show you? In the summary, if you want to, you could have the photos in all the repair items if you wanted to. We are showing the photos in all of these summary pages. So if we click on the HVAC contractor, you can see they're going to get pictures of all the issues noted. And there's, if you want to use tables, but you want to use your own template, that's fine. You do not have to use this commercial template in Scribeware, but um, the workflow is pretty phenomenal. One of the things that we wanted to solve is on the back end, just this unit is so nice. I really love not needing to jump around. I mean, when I've done commercial in the past, by the time I'm in my fourth unit, I'm so sick of navigating to the electrical and the plumbing and the heating. And because we have these contractor tags, we've really eliminated all that navigation. And because the styles and materials are populating common tables, and we're building these electrical and HVAC summary pages, there's really no reason you can't just have all of this in one big chapter, which I think makes for a really flexible workflow, and it's fast. And you come home organized because of what you've got, these little photo buckets to keep all your pictures organized. So, all right, guys, I hope this helps. Please leave us messages or feedback. But we'd value your input on commercial, and especially reach out if you want to help me finish some of the life safety, environmental, ADA compliance. There's some stuff in here that I could use some help building out. Thanks, guys. Bye.